Okie dokie. Okay, friends, all I want to do, Helena and Margot, I just want to check in with your A's and your B's. Well, actually, your C, your B, and your C.
It's kind of messy a little bit.
Oh, she's a shade.
Should I step out?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'll start with Helena. Okay, hello. Okay, tell me about your activity.
Okay. So it's kind of like part of the scene, but
Okay.
I have like like law textbook here that I'm going to like be copying down notes from. So like
Okay.
as like a cheat sheet for work.
Okay.
And if I don't, then I'm just gonna be lost and related and not know what's going on.
Okay, so this is a very good in-between activity,
Okay.
right? But I think that I think we need some time-specific consequences that that can justify or sustain like what you think
Yeah.
the effect is going to be on you. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
How can we do that?
Well, I mean, I could be like, I guess I need to leave to go to work to get a project done or something that's maybe there's a deadline, maybe it's late at night, maybe it's like midnight, I have to get something in by then and I need to, I mean, I have a line where I'm saying I stole this law textbook because I needed it to figure out what the fuck is going on down at work.
Okay, so then I think it's about needing to put the textbook back.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think okay. I think a couple things. I think trying to figure out a way to put the textbook back is a possibility. That will keep you sort of like, it's not even aligned. It's like exactly inside of the text. I think another kernel that's missing is whatever your in between is for law, for a textbook, for return, for job, for consequences. Does that make sense? Because logically, this makes sense. And I think like stealing the textbook and needing to put it back, I feel like we can tweak that a little bit.
A coworker,
That
they need it.
A coworker and or a shared space. But I think it's less about that right now and more about what your reality one layer is going to be on top of this so that it's not just like a really cool idea.
Well, this is my textbook.
Okay.
I borrowed it from a friend of mine.
Okay. No. I mean like so this idea of job and whatever those consequences are not really real for you right now. So what's the reality one layer and or how can we walk it back into the in-between so that it matters for you? Hold on one second. So, friends, when I'm asking about a reality one layer, it's because Helena is giving me things straight from the text, right? That is usable, right? It's a leap for us because as we've been working, I've been asking you all, Asante, you are not on vacation. Thank you. I've been asking you all to figure out, right? Like, okay, if it's too far in reality 2, how do we find it somewhere in 1.5, reality 1.5, right? So we're using something for the text for the first time, right? Exactly from the text. It still has to have a reality one later, or else it's just like a cool add-on to the story. Does that make sense? Or something that intellectually or logically makes sense. It still will not hold when it comes to keeping Helena connected and committed to doing this activity. So I think we have to, one, work out like the timetable for yourself, like the real timetable, if we are doing coworker or if we do shared space or however that is, right? But then you have to take the next step and figure out what that means for you. Great. So what's working? What's percolating?
I think the concept that it belongs to somebody else and I need to get it back to them because
Okay.
they need it for some reason. Like
Okay.
maybe they have like an exam or something that's more like definitive.
Okay.
Like this specific textbook.
Okay.
And it belongs to them in the first place. And
Okay.
I just stole it because
Okay.
I wanted to know what's going on. That is activating for me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think, So what is, if theirs is for an exam, what's your need for it?
To figure out what the actual like definitions are in the office that people are using to stay on the same page as all these like men that are bigger and better and like studying law. I haven't studied law. But just trying to catch up and keep my place. That's why I make like my activity is like making like a cheat sheet or like a note that I can like bring. I can't just logo around a textbook into the office and like make it look like an idiot.
Right. Okay. So do you have the words outlined that you want to, or are you going to be trying to create it from scratch? Okay. Yeah. So all of these things are going to keep you in pretend land. Let me see. Okay, I think what we have to do is we have to find a chunk. Okay, I think we need to try to copy this one, yeah, for the whole section one.
Okay.
As a start. So, friends, without any this activity as it stands right now is no bueno, right? How we can possibly like find a way to make it usable, right? Is Helena could have had a list of the words that she needed to define. That would keep us honest and true to the activity, right? So I'm flubbing it a little bit right now to figure out, okay, how can we keep her true to a task, right? So that's the first step. Now, this idea about the book, it feels a little loosey-goosey to me, meaning like, right now it feels like an activity just to keep you active, right? Not necessarily something that's intrinsically connected to your need.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So that's the fill-in that we need, right? Or else it's just gonna be a buffer.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So how can we fill this in more? So you have the friend, which is they have an exam.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess this isn't exactly a time restraint, but it's the reason why I was like, okay, this is pretty much working, because like as far as like my reputation is
Uh-huh.
at stake, and I don't wanna look like an idiot in the workplace, and I'm already being like the whole point of the scene is that I'm being like overly sexualized.
Uh-huh.
So it's not, and it's just really negative, and I wanna prove that I like have like a brain inside my head too.
Okay,
So
now are you giving me your B?
kind of.
Well, okay, let's hold activity talk, give me your B, and then let me see how much I can entangle them together.
My B is to be understood by Margot or Lydia as more than just like who's been kind of like taking her fiance from her.
Great, what am I gonna say to that? Yes. But yeah, yes, it's and the good, better, best, it's like borderline maybe, right? Because it's the first step to something that's much more powerful.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So how can you talk yourself into using that as the beginning into something more,
Okay.
right? So give me the phrase again. You said to understand that you are.
To be understood
Mhm.
to be understood that as a person and not an object by Lydia, who's almost a victim.
Okay, yes.
Could it be like,
Is your A victim?
She's like my perfect competition.
Your perfect competition. That's an excellent A. That's an excellent A. Yes.
maybe to see the real me?
To see the real me, it definitely has more heart than to understand, right? But I'm not sure if that's activating for you. So, anybody else have some? Yes.
Validated or accepted?
Accept it as your equal. That for me, that perfect competition and the tweaking of what I just did with Bridget's suggestion feels like we've got something now that's doubly activated. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm like, we gotta figure out the right adjustments, right? The right tweak. So that A funnels into B, right? And all of this keeps us much more connected rather than separate, right? And even in just saying it like that, I need my perfect competition to accept me as her true equal. It, like, I don't even have to, like, I don't have a thing to memorize that. It just comes out of my body because it all sort of like sinks in a lovely way, not in here, but in here. Does this make sense? Lovely. So if that works for you, I think that's a better beginning, right? Or I shouldn't say a better beginning. That's like the next step, and you can then tweak that for the next time you work so that it's even more personal. Yeah. Lovely. Okay, so now this activity, that helps me figure out what is some good crafting that we can do around the activity. Any thoughts based off of what we now have as the A and the B and what we understand Helena's I was like, this is weird. Yes.
Maybe like you like have like a page and you're looking through every word that you don't know, and you have to like define it somehow. Like if you have like, I know like your laptops like it would teach about at the moment, but if somehow somebody had a dictionary on it.
I'm not even mad at a phone. I don't have a dictionary in my office. That's what I'm like. I'm not mad at the phone as a possibility, but I hear it. Yes, because I think what Bridget is tapping into is this self-worth, like at the end, really in the core of this, right? And so like any word inside of the textbook, inside of the sections, like it's a possibility to look up. Whether it works or not right now with the math book, who knows? But I think it's a good idea when it comes to trying to hook into your B. Yes. I looked for the glossary. It's no glossary. That's what I was looking for. It's only an index. Right. But yes. I'm here with you. Anybody else? Box to help hook. Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether you guys are coworkers, but if, to connect it back to like the need to be equal, like, if she had some sort of success that you just knew and you're trying to, like, have your own personal success of like, knowing that you can be among, like, these, like, high status now, whatever.
Mhm.
So if it connects to like, oh, she just had something, I need to something myself.
Tricky because they are not coworkers.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so, let's take a little bit about what Bridget was saying about like the definition. And so we can't do that. I do wonder about if we could be preparing for something at work with in company of all of those men who make you feel small. And this is your only window of opportunity to prep in a way that, does that make sense?
Yes. Would it be too legal of me to be copying down answers for like an exam or an assessment at work? That's why I need this as a cheat sheet to like,
Yeah, it's paying you too much as a villain, right? So rather than, I think if it's not an exam and it's truly like a cheat sheet for whatever presentation you need to do, or does that make sense,
Yeah.
at the job, that is somehow self-defining, which is putting a little bit of Malia's suggestion in as well, somehow self-defining. So like an assessment, like, you know, this is your, how can we phrase it so it's your one opportunity to prove once and for all that you are supposed to be in the room that you're in.
maybe I'm pushing something that means a lot to me.
Okay.
And I need to somehow focus on my helpful.
I know. Yeah.
I don't know, I need to crunch numbers, and I wanna have this handy for when if I need it, and so I don't make it for myself. Because I don't have as much of an education, the reason I got this job was because of Margot's fiance.
Right.
So like, I don't exactly have like the education to back up, so I want this narrated, so I don't fool myself as someone who's not technically educated.
Well, again, I think you're talking yourself into something that's gonna keep you pretending rather than wholeheartedly like committed, because even for those of us who deal with like self-worth, right? Like deep down in our hearts, like that is a subconscious thing, but consciously, right, we want to believe that we are good enough, right? So if you try to get into the psyche, friends, in the deficit without giving yourself some real world circumstances, then you're going to be pretending like I'm not worthy, right? Because our humanity wants to fight for, does that make sense? Like fight for our worth, yeah.
Did you say you work in a law firm?
Yes.
What if you had this presentation coming up or like a pitch or something and you knew that it was coming up and you meant to work on it, but then all the men at your job kept like making you do their paperwork for them, so you've literally been like at home doing your paperwork for them like all week, and you are like, and then you're like, fuck, I literally have my presentation today. And now you have to like log in and like start crunching numbers and start like making it. And like, this is your first step to like getting there, and you're presenting it like today.
Yeah, I like that.
This is very good.
Yeah.
This is very good, Jay. Like you wrote in sort of like all of the antagonistic forces and while carving out Helena as the hero in a really lovely way. So if we move ourselves into the deficit, this is the line of thinking, because we're not just talking about the possibility of a feeling, right? But we actually walk ourselves into real world circumstances that will elicit that feeling. Does that make sense? So this, I like this a lot. I think rather than, just to tweak it a little bit, rather than you doing sort of like all of their clerical work, maybe what you've been doing is a series of like random office assignments that they've given you, like cleaning the coffee room, like going like errands, going and grab the stuff from the office supply, right? Running mail, things, all the things that you are not necessarily supposed to do, but because you're there, right? And there's this perspective on you, right?
Yeah.
That like you actually have had this presentation, and so it's the first time for them to take you seriously.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That feels like it can work. I think I want to talk to Margot and Helena. Maybe you can out there sort of figure out what we can do with this book. Okay. Hello. I just want to talk to you about your B and what happens if you don't get it.
Okay, so my B is I need her to justify why Andrew postponed the wedding, or else the perfect life that I spent the last few years building for myself will completely go to waste.
Oh, okay. When you say justify, what do you mean by that?
An explanation of why he did it, because I'm blaming it on her. But I soften it with my A. My A is she is my final refuge. She's the last person I can seek that sense of like refuge in, and so that's where I tried to soften it.
No. I'm here
Yeah,
for it. I'm
okay.
here for it. The refuge, assuming that there's something that she can say that puts less of a blame on him.
I guess I think it's more like it's not a refuge in her. It's
Mhm.
a refuge that like I just need someone,
Okay.
and I have no one else on my list I can turn to
Okay.
except for her.
Okay.
She's the last person.
Receive. Walk me through how the justification, though. Like, what do you mean by the justification
Okay. Oh, for the okay.
for your B? Does that
I
make
want to
sense?
know why Andrew postponed the wedding. Period. Because
Okay.
he's been slowly distancing himself, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I didn't change my behavior, so there's some other factor that has changed.
Okay.
And I, in my head, have dwindled it down. The only other like added component is Georgie.
Okay.
She's the only thing that could be the root cause of it.
Okay. So you need her to make it make sense for you.
Yes, I think less of just justification, more of a confirmation.
Okay. Oh, that she's the reason.
Yeah. But I feel like that's a little harsh.
Well, because I just don't. So if you find out she's the reason, then what next?
Yeah.
No. Do you think, or you just really don't know?
I
mean, that wasn't a get your gotcha question. That was, do you have an idea, even if you haven't sorted it out yet?
I don't think she's in I don't think Lydia's in the state of mind where she's thinking long term. I think she wants answers now, and she just wants to know why. I don't
Okay.
think she knows what she wants to do with the answers.
Okay. But what do you want to do with the answers?
I just take it out on her. But that's so harsh, and I'm trying not to be.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with justifying why you need her to offer you an explanation that makes sense about why he's acting weird. It drags. If she were to tell you it's because of her, how would that satisfy you?
I think in a sense, it would give me a reason to leave him. As much as I don't want to, I think Lydia's the kind of person that would do it because she knows it's the right thing to do for herself.
Okay, so it sounds like you are coming here seeking a reason to leave him.
And I think in the sense where it's like with my C,
Yeah.
it's like, or else that, because I've like created this perfect life for myself with the job, with the husband, with the or too soon to be husband, with the like life that I have, where it's like, I know I could lose it all, but I guess I'm okay with that if it means clarity.
Okay, I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this because the beginning of it sounds a little like fake closure, right? But now we're getting at something that's much more actionable.
Yeah.
So you're saying that before coming here, you cannot wholeheartedly walk out on this beautiful picture that you painted for yourself, right? So you're really coming here to give her to give you like the truth that you need to walk away.
But I also think, at least with our collective item, with
Yeah.
the deed,
Yeah.
I think that ties to this little glimmer of hope that I still have, that she's gonna say everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also was thinking about adding an extra layer to
Yeah,
that, like the deed.
Yeah.
Like in the script, it talks like they cut it from the scene, but like there's this whole long line where she's like, Andrew and I haven't had sex for months, and it's been this whole thing, and she's like losing her femininity. But I was like, well, what if she's pregnant? And what if she kind of has this idea where she needs to hold on to something? She can't tell him because he's pulling away and she feels that emotional absence. But there's this possibility still where she doesn't know if she is pregnant. She thinks she might be. And so she needs to secure that, like, that apartment, that place to have it just in case something happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the kind of crafting that I'm talking about, friends, when I'm like, yes, the playwright gives us whatever, right? Thank you, playwright. Now, what are you gonna do to make sure that you can show up fully activated, right? So there's a continuation of the playwright story that you have license to create for yourself in your own little individual crafting, because you gotta tell yourself whatever you need to come in here fully activated, right? So fake closure completely goes off the table if I'm worried that I might be pregnant, right? So then I need this object, yes, and I need the finalization, right, from her, so I have my marching orders with this deed. Does that make sense? And so that all sort of funnels in the right direction. She's really coming here, needing to sort out what the hell the rest of her life is gonna look like, right? Like she is, when you think about any major event, it's the pre, it's the during, it's the after, right? If you think about the Twin Towers, right? It's the pre, before they fell, right? 2 planes go in, oh my God, right? Then it's them falling, what just happened? And then it's the after of, oh my God, does this make sense? This is just she's arriving with 2 planes in the tower. Does that make sense? Yes, and the baby for me makes it that real. Does that make sense? For the possibility of the pregnancy makes it that terrifying. Of like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. I need whatever. I need refuge. I need security. I need structure. Does that make sense? Which is a little bit why the tower image comes to me, because of what you're seeking. Does that make sense? Is this thing gonna stand or is it gonna fall? Okay, great. Okay, and what's your timetable in your head?
So Helene and I actually in the script, we've never met before. This
Yeah.
is our first interaction. The reason why we're meeting is, so previously Andrew invited us all to dinner and he wanted us to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it as Georgie's like one of his best friends?
Mhm.
And so I found her clothes in our apartment. And it's actually in the script that it says that.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously her intentions are different than mine, but I saw this and was like, I can't do this anymore. Because he's always talking about her. She's always, like, we hear her, like, she's everywhere.
Mhm.
And then I see the clothes and I'm like, this is it. I'm fucking done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the final straw that
Mhm.
caused me to take a picture.
Great. My question for you though is, I want to make sure that, I think what we really need to talk back a little bit, Margot, is what makes you stay? What makes you stay after finding the clothes? Like because I'm thinking about you as a person, and if that were to happen to you as a person, I'm not sure if you show up here.
The only reason that I would say, and not to like keep going back to the script, but she talks about how she can never talk to her family about this because they view Andrew as like, they said all this stuff about him and she needs to prove to him that he is a good guy and I chose the right one. Like I can make decisions for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think upholding that idea specifically to your parents and to your entire family, like proving that to them, saying like, listen, I can choose the right man and I can make these own choices for myself, and having to like go with my decision. Like I got engaged to him, I'm gonna get married. Like I have a life.
Mhm.
Like holding that up and like keeping that true, I think is
Is that true for you?
what do you mean?
If you were in that situation, would you do that?
If my parents expect me to, I think I would.
And that you would go forward with the marriage?
If they viewed it to that level of extremity, I think I would. I mean, part of me wouldn't, but
You just don't strike me as somebody who is going
it's
to.
just like I tried to like I value one of my parents deeply.
I do, I believe that. I also think not deep enough to commit
Yeah,
to
to
a
my
lie.
entire
For the
life
I just
of-
don't, I don't think so. You know what I mean?
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So then my question is, what would have to be true for Margot in order for that to be true for you?
See, and that I have a really hard time justifying.
Yeah, but that's what we're here for.
I know.
That's what we're here for, right? I think the beginning. I'm sorry.
The baby.
Well, the baby for sure.
Yeah.
But there's something in me that the way that you're talking right now about the way that Margot is just talking to me about the cheating just makes me feel like it is just the baby. And if it's just the baby, then who cares about getting the truth? Just give me the damn deed.
Exactly.
Do you see what I'm saying? Yes.
I was gonna say, is it like within the realm of possibility that there's a piece of you that genuinely believes you might be able to cheat?
See, that's just not how I, like, personally, that's just not how I think.
No.
Like, if I see a certain amount of bread, I'm like, God, like, I don't want to waste my time with somebody who's gonna treat me poorly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just not who I am.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't stand.
Reagan, Bridget, and Sid.
This isn't like that well thought out, but a reason why maybe you would need to see here, instead of just leaving, is like, if you suspect it is her, like, maybe, like, a part of you is like, what does she have that I don't, or like, I need to see who this is, like, and what she would say, I don't know, just like needing to see for yourself.
Are you asking why I'm visiting Georgie or why I'm still with Andrew?
I'm asking why you are coming here. I'm asking, I guess what I'm really trying to figure out is the marriage between the D and your B, and making sure that you're not coming in here already decided that it's over. Because if so, I think the play's over. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if there is something about, I'm getting into the weeds, but that this is not a new, but like that girl friendships are not new for Andrew, that like, you know what I'm saying? What I want to do is, because we're already so far in the deficit with the cheating, is I want to walk it back, right? To figure out, how can we sow more seeds of doubt in you, right? Without denying the circumstances of the play.
Exactly.
Yes.
Do you know for sure that it was her place? Is there a world where it's like, because if he has a lot of girlfriends, maybe it's a different girl, or maybe it's even clothes that like you would wear. Like maybe it's clothes he bought for you. Like it's
They're
just
sweaty, so I don't think they're new, but it could be different. Well, no, he said Georgie was just here. He was like, she was just here before you left,
Mm-hmm.
and then I saw.
Mm-hmm. And what did he say that she was there doing?
He didn't say what.
It's terrible.
Yes.
I had an idea, you said, wait, have you, or have you not met Georgie before this?
I've never met.
Oh, because I thought you said like you went out to
No.
No, that's a plan at some point in time, yes.
this isn't like developed. Is there like any chance that somehow, like through the relationship you guys have had, and if he's had like girlfriends, that there is still that part of you that believes that because he has been helping her through work and everything, and like, is there any way that it could literally just be a friendship? And
That's what I'm thinking too.
relation?
It's like there's that glimmer of hope that like maybe, I think that's also why I'm seeking her out.
Yeah.
Not to confirm, like for the confirmation, but also maybe a denial.
Oh, yes, and I think that that's what I'm interested in your feed of, like, because I think the refuge is right.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think we need to lean into the negative in this scene. I think we actually want to pump the beat up in a more positive place because the scene is already confrontational,
That's the
right? And so what we don't want to do is set ourselves up to lean into the smokiness.
Because also I feel like Lydia knows that Andrew's been helping Georgie with work, so there also could be that part of you that's like, maybe this isn't what I think it is. It could really just be that she was here, something happened, that she had to leave her clothes or something.
Yeah.
Like, she had to change because she was like some sort of circumstance where it really could be that he was just helping her with something, or they were just like having a conversation about work. Like some part of you that trusts him, that you just need that confirmation.
Yeah, and I wonder if we can pour into the help idea, and how much we can put Georgie in the deficit, right?
I almost pity her.
Yes, I want to know how much we can lean into, and even if it means we have to pump more of like our story into the play, how can we do that? So that she is more of a charity case
Yeah.
in your mind, which I think then gives us a lot more room to wonder if.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what we're doing is like, we're really like softening the sting about the clothes,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. It's like maybe I have this all in my head, maybe I'm making this up,
Like,
like, I don't know.
Yes. And it's a little bit of like, so you read the play, so you can't unknow the play,
Yeah.
right? But what other things can you, I'm just trying to think of like,
The clothes interaction was completely innocent.
yeah,
They didn't do anything.
yeah,
They don't kiss until after that.
mm-hmm,
So it is like a very like viable thing, you know? Like,
1 and 2.
What if it was like a thunderstorm that day and like there's a possibility that the clothes aren't sweaty, they're just like wet from the rain?
Mm-hmm.
the reason why she takes them off in the play is she was on an hour and a half subway ride and she felt disgusting and gross and like had to get out of them. Like she was having an awful day, so she
Mhm.
changed. That was like literally the circumstance.
I think what I'm, I got yes.
I wonder if also what if like like just from what your fiance is like has your fiance talked to you at all or like brought up Georgie to you? So like what if like I mean this is like something that like Helena likes to work out, so it's like what if her and your fiance like go on runs together?
No.
Not the run.
No, wants to hear. No. That's even worse than sleeping. Oh, that's even worse. It's okay. I'm here to help. So this is what I'm thinking. I also wonder what state would a woman have to be in to justify for you, someone who you with, like being so generous with their time and their efforts. Because I know what that is for me, but I'm interested in what that could be for you. Because that's what we need here. We need to sprinkle more empathy in order to try to move us out of, or give us just, because right now, before we started talking, there's no glimmer of hope. Margot is like really trying to hang on to this glimmer, but it's not there. So I want to give it to her so it's real, but we have to swing something out of or lean into something more in order to pump up a little bit more hope.
The time aspect,
Yeah.
she's been with this man for so long.
Okay?
And I think there has to be an aspect of this character that she just truly deeply admires.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he maybe is a really great person.
Mhm.
And I like the fact that he allocates so much time to helping others because that means he's generous. And he
Yeah.
cares about other people. And, like,
Yeah.
I value that. Like
Right.
I think that's something I can back.
Great.
You know, he's just a good person.
Lovely. Is there somebody in your life that needs help?
Oh. Maybe like a sibling or I think it would be yes, but I just have to figure out who.
Okay.
it's hard because like Lydia's family
Uh-huh.
is like very well off, like they don't need help.
Uh-huh.
They don't want Andrew, they don't like Andrew.
Uh-huh.
So it's like hard to connect to that.
Great. They don't like him, but
He's still helpful.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a friend. I'm also thinking about some like other people that he's helped that you would admire. Does he volunteer on Saturdays at the Boys and Girls Club? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I think we really have to. We gotta lift him out of the deficit, or else, like, it really just becomes. I'm just coming here to fight. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So let's play just for time purposes, but I think before blocking, that's the thing that I want you to continue to think about, because I want to make the hope real.
Yeah.
Right? And like, I think a baby is everything, right? And I think also you really being connected to this picture that you painted. And the fact that for me, a reality one layer is like imagining your life without acting. Like imagining pouring all of this time and money and effort into a career and then never going after it. That's what's at stake here. Do you know what I mean? And if she can give you one morsel, one little, right, mustard seed, that it didn't happen, or it wasn't what you think, then you can walk out here with that career intact, with the hope and the vision for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that you gotta really try to connect to, right? Rather than coming in here to get what you feel like you deserve.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
She is a refuge, because she's the one person that can offer this one thing that means that you get to keep your future. Okay, let's play. Is somebody pinging? I don't have a phone, so no. So it can't be me. I'm not sure. Can I have somebody on real time? Okay, great. Yep, every two. Yes, please. Helena, what's the first line?
Listen, I don't know who you are, what you're doing here.
Okay, great.
I know you haven't.
Who are you?
I need the tea. Please.
What are you? Who are you? What are you doing? Right? I don't know who I am. Okay, yes, I know who you are. But what are you doing? What are you doing here? I live here.
13.
I need the deed, please. You know where it is.
Why?
There's just a lot going on right now, and it's technically in my name too.
This has nothing to do with it.
This has everything to do with me, okay? I'm the one living in that
I'm
apartment.
not your fiance.
Exactly.
Don't talk to him
He
about
entrusted you with the deed.
Yeah, but it's.
Is it working?
Helena, you're in possession of it, okay? You have two choices.
It's not notarized yet, okay? So just
What difference does it make? You're not the one
That's
supposed
why
to
he
be
gave it to
possessed.
me.
Great, I can notarize it myself. It's my deed.
I left it at the office.
Okay,
No.
where is it in the office?
You're not going to.
I will go to the office.
No,
He's
you
my
will not.
fiance. I have every right to go to the
No,
office.
don't confuse conversation from connected. It's not the same.
Helena, listen. If you were in an ounce of my position right now, and I'm saying this woman to woman,
Oh my god.
there are certain things in life that you and I have to put up with.
Losing.
What are you even doing?
I just.
You don't have a second?
No.
Why?
I'm busy, okay? Get out of my apartment.
I'm not getting out of your apartment because my life is on the line.
Okay, so it's mine.
No, it's not. You're doing math. Math isn't that important.
Margo, go away.
I can't.
Stop.
You have no idea what I can fucking
I'm
do.
dealing with this right now.
This is not. Oh, I have to deal with this every fucking day of my life. You have no
What does that
idea.
have to do with me?
Because you're the only person who can help me right now. It is literally just you. And I know you were busy with this, okay? But just give me 1 minute of your time because everything I talk to your
fiance. Your
you can't help me. You're the only person
It's
that
working.
can help me. I need you to listen to me. Helena, please. You are my last resort. What do you want from me? The deed, okay? I don't have it. You do. Why do you need it so bad? Me text.
Listen, I don't know who you are.
You know who I am.
Yes, of course I know who you are. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
I live here.
You lying.
You know what I mean.
You know what I mean.
Listen, I'm just sad. I've had one river of a day. I really cannot do this right now.
Don't talk to me about bad days.
Why?
Listen.
Listen.
No. You listen.
Landed.
You listen.
Not working.
Helena, you listen. Please. Listen.
10 minutes.
Why?
I don't know you.
I don't know you, okay? You and I have never met, but you are wreaking havoc on my life.
Not landing.
You are wreaking havoc on my life.
Not landing.
You are wreaking havoc on my life. Enough. No. Listen, okay? Line.
At first,
At first, I admired Andrew's interest in you, okay? He cares about people. He truly cares.
On
and
Helena.
I think that is wonderful. But over the last few months, I have been growing
Is it
increasingly
working?
less interested
Is it working?
in his interests. No. Not only do I
On
have
text, Helena.
to
On text.
listen
You
to
don't get
him
text.
talk about you incessantly every time I go over for dinner or spend the night there, but I am bombarded by you. When you come home late at night, we hear your little heels clicking on the ceiling, and frankly, I'm not enjoying this. For the past 2 months, I have been under the distinct impression that every time I spend the night here,
Work
I am
on
sleeping.
her. Work on
I am sleeping with not one, but 2 people. Andrew and yourself. Now listen,
Is it working?
listen. I don't know what happened between you and
Nothing. Nothing
chill. For 1 second, I swear to God, I don't know one more fucking thing there, but I'm going to.
Land it.
Can I get you a drink or something? Do you want tea? Is that tequila? Yes. I'll have tequila. Fine.
Great. Okay, good. Pause. Okay. Hey, Helena. I'm sorry, Sid. We sent you out and Margot came in.
Sorry.
Okay. I got some really quick thoughts. Helena, you gotta stop recoiling back into your hair. Okay? Like the thing, and this is like carryover from Kayleen, and it was okay for Kayleen because we weren't there yet as far as like moving out of yourself but landing. Yes, this last moment where I stopped you, the Drake line, right? That serves because you didn't think about it, you didn't hesitate, you just landed it on Margot to stop whatever was happening here. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Do you feel the difference between that and versus when you had the line here?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's in reaction, right? Rather than landing. Yeah, and I want you to get that, and that I want to work that muscle, right? Because, and I particularly enjoy that moment because it wasn't in panic, and it wasn't sort of a lot of times, sometimes when you guys are landing, the sentiment behind it is stay away, get off me, leave me alone. But that wasn't. That was literally born out of, I need whatever this is to stop. What do you want? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, if you're gonna give text, it has to be born out of that.
Okay.
Because you have no other choice in here but to say it.
Okay.
Make sense? Yeah. Hey, Margot, couple things here. There was a moment where you lost the character and became Margot. It was somewhere around here when you crossed and you leaned down. Yes, you gotta track that. And it's funny because like I can track your crosses out. Every time you crossed out, it was your idea of character creeping in. When you let all of that stuff go, you were able to find more things to do blocking wise, right? You were able to find more connected crosses, right? And a need in how you were actually talking to Helena versus talking at her.
Yeah.
Right? And that's something that you've got to track. You've got to track the difference between energy, and energy. Does that make sense? And it doesn't have to be, right? But it's gotta be like a laser going from here right into the other person. Does that make sense? Yeah. And when you own that space and you occupy it and you land it, that's what I'm looking for. Because that's you as the character, right? When it gets here, that's the character. That's your idea of the character, right? But when it drops in, that's you. Does that make sense? I also think that you need her to leave him alone.
Yeah.
I think it's less about give you the truth and more about give you your life.
But I get worried that I'm like playing keep away. But it's like,
No,
yeah.
because you're not saying get out of the room. You're not leaving until she agrees to whatever happened to stop it. That's what you have come in here for.
Yeah.
You've come in here to get her to stop the panic. You've come in here to get her to stop the towers from falling. Does that make sense? And even you walking in with the deed, right? I love the idea of an object because that object brought you in here for a very tangible reason, and we didn't get into the sort of like a boo-hoo-hoo improv of like, hey girl, right? You walked in and you said, you put your bag down, you said, I need the deed. And then Helena said, I don't know who you are, and you said, you know who I am. Which for me was like truth. Like it was like if we were playing pretend and there was like a helium balloon, Margot was like, boop, And then Helena's like, okay, you're right, I know who you are. But do you know what I'm saying? And then we start to get into this truthful exchange of these two women who clearly have something the other one wants. Does that make sense? I also believe that it was very tricky, this activity, but we did find some connection to it. There was a level of protection around it. So now I wonder if we can get even more specific, yes, with the glossary, with that sort of thing, right? I'm gonna say like, just get you a list of terms and then get a big dictionary. And does that make sense? And give yourself the time period because this is working, right? Enough that you didn't flub it. So now I wonder if it was specific, what else could we get from it? Does that make sense? Yeah. Thoughts, quickly, anything? Yes, Reagan, Bridget, who else had a hand up? And Ari and then Santi.
The first time you said you're the only person who can help me, Margot, I felt like that really landed on my tongue.
Who did Helena become with that line? Her last refuge.
Yes.
She literally became the A.
Yes.
In that one line, the whole thing unpacks for me. Yeah? Yes.
I was gonna say the same thing, and then I really loved when you kept repeating it because every repetition of it really, for me as like the audience, I was just like, oh my gosh, I really liked that.
Oh, Ari.
Whenever Margot planted her feet, that's when she started to land. And even
Come
when she
on.
went down to Helena's level, like they
That's the difference. That character stuff lives real high for you. That drop in is you. Yes.
I was gonna say something similar in the sense that like when she was like when you were out here and like you were just like talking to like the room, it felt like more performing than when you were like when you remember who you were talking to and why you needed to speak to her. Then like it drew you to her and like you really needed to connect to her, so you got as close as possible. And I felt it the most when she was like fully like turning away from you with the book and you like needed like felt like you needed to take the book away. And
Yeah, because she had lost and you started to realize you were losing. And this is my thing for a lot of you. Like, there were times where you were given a lot of language and you started to lose and nothing changed in your pursuit. So, like, there were times when you won with Helena and then Helena would turn away, but nothing would change. Sometimes you would even cross out away, right? Which for me is giving me more of a theatrical interpretation rather than reading everything she's doing at any point in time to see if you're winning or not. Does that make sense? And because your pursuit can change within a monologue, right? So if I'm starting to put down there, you ain't bought my house without me. How many times like with his nothing, it makes me then go into it even though he doesn't even have a line there. Does that make sense? It's because I'm wrapped into everything that the person is doing. And if you don't have the activity, y'all, that's your job. With the exception of Kendall and Bo, because they've got something else going on, that's your job, right? Of like reading when you're coming into this room. The person with the activity, your job is to stay connected to that activity and not give text unless it's earned. Yes? And Helena, you feel the difference of that in your body? Because there were other times besides the last one that I'm tracking that you actually landed. Does that make sense? Yeah. No.
35 minutes.
Okay, great.
You're fine.
I thought you were gonna say we have 5 minutes. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So this is my thing, right? Let's tweak. This is my first time working with this thing, so let's tweak that, please. Because I think it unraveled in the scene, right? Of like what you're really looking for. So let's go back and pack that a little bit more, right? And make your consequence added to the pressure and the family and that this, whatever this is, it stops right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, for you, Helena, anytime she poses, like she was definitely playing status here, right? But you know what you need. Yeah, and I think when we really nail the activity, whatever comes out to Margot is going to be connected through that. Like your B is gonna live, right, through this activity, because any obstacle that she presents, it's gonna force you to deal with it inside of your connection to this. Does that make sense? So if you landed, it is to say, I am your equal. Does that make sense? What are you doing here? This is my space. I live here. You cannot be here. You don't own me. Does that make sense? You're not better than me. You can't walk over me. Does that make sense? You're gonna respect me in my house, and I'm not gonna have to yell to get it. Right? That's the kind of thing that if she is the A that you said that she is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah. And I do think this idea of being better than is a good hook for a job as well as this relationship, but you cannot get caught playing the villain. And right now in your interpretation, I feel like there's a part of you that's still playing the villain. So you've got to talk yourself into more what ifs about the situation between you and him. Does that make sense? You got to make yourself the hero, because I believe there is a little bit of shame that we're seeing here that I think you don't need.
Okay.
Right? But you got to talk yourself into the right perspective that you are not the villain here.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I think that's where we still need to bake a little bit. So handle those things for next time. I think a bottle of tequila, let's not have it here. I think we need to have like a bar.
Okay.
Right? Where there's tequila. I also have like another bottle of something. I mean, it's not anything in it, but like you can use the alcohol bottle there. And then I think we also need the kitchen, right? Because, so just so you have do you want some tea? Honey, what do you, right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even that tea is a play of like, you're not better than me. Would you like some tea? I actually have tea as well. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's everything that you say, and I think if we infuse this more in your activity, then you'll get more impulses that are about leveling out.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And not sort of running and hiding, which is what's happening a little bit here. But I think that's because in your mind, you did it. And in your mind, you're guilty, right? So it's really hard to fight for the character when you don't do that hero's work. Does that make sense? And you're never going to play a character that's perfect. Your job is to humanize their decisions. And what I walked Margot through was the best thing ever, which is, okay, well, if you wouldn't do this, what do I need to tell you, right, about your life that you would, right? Because I wouldn't rob somebody. I wouldn't rob the 7-Eleven, but there's always enough possibility that if you tell me the right thing, I'm going in there with a mask. Does that make sense? Because no face, no case. Thank you, friends. You guys look great.
Thank you.
What do you guys think?
Not you, Jake. Talking about Margot and Margot. Take them off whenever you want to. It's your house.
How can I help with it?
What size shoe do you wear? I have some shoes you might like. They're really tall. I don't know if they're more comfortable, but they're super cute, and I can no longer stand the discomfort.
You guys did the link?
Hey, Kendall, can you come and sit down here with me? Okay, the back row.
I've never sat back there. And
I feel like I'm changing. I really hope
Come on, look. From the way back all the way in the back of the forest.
do you guys need anything else?
So do you want
No.
or do you want this?
Yeah, I know. Let's try to keep it What, do I need to put some tape on it?
I mean, like, one of the laws, like, weird things, I think that's the only thing. Or the big law, but then it would be small.
Santi, where is your notebook?
There's the one because it's like.
So how are you giving me feedback and you don't have a notebook?
Do you want a whiteboard in your house?
Okay, lovely. Okay, great. Do we have an idea about windows?
Windows meaning, like windows?
Mhm.
How do you mean by basic windows?
Let's go,
Where are they?
yeah.
Give you signs for those. Give you the windows.
We have this.
Oh, God, don't go
It
to
doesn't
my shop
nighttime.
upstairs.
I'm feeling, I don't know, I'm feeling here.
Okay.
When it hears the music. Like
Okay,
that noise.
let's just put a box over there so we know.
Or that little box would
Yeah.
be a window.
Whose potbelly stove? That's fun.
Like you see like that little thing. What is it?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
What is that even?
Right. So, friends, if we get to the music, if we get to the window, they're actually supposed to have it.
Okay.
Okay. I do like these pants. Thank you.
Right? They're so dashed.
They are. I already have like a playlist of.
Oh, great.
with,
Okay,
like,
great.
with wall
So can you give it to someone
to like.
to play if we get there?
Yeah. If it turns off, it turns off. I'm sorry. It's just, it's not numbers, so it's not numbered. Click on it, click on it and then it's. I go, I think it's not great, where does the music?
Must have been the wind.
It's not great.
Tip tapping today. Tip tapping. Okay. You two look lovely as well. Great. Let me chat with Lindsay about activity and then we'll get back in. Okay, my friend, what you got going on?
Okay, so I am writing down, I have a copy, but like I wrote it messily and I need to write it nice and neat.
Okay.
Copy of an application for a program, like an opera singing program.
Okay.
And the mailman is coming in 20 minutes.
Okay. Okay, what happens if you don't get it done? I'm assuming you don't get into the program?
Like, yeah, this is my last shot.
Oh, okay. So what's the program represent for you?
An opportunity to be something more than the things I hate about myself.
Okay. 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 Do you have some reality one connection to offer?
Yes.
Okay, great.
In a sense.
Okay. Okay, cool,
I
cool.
layered it with something else.
Okay, great.
Performance.
Awesome. Okay. Lovely. This is the Marcel. Just the idea that your preparation, are you gonna write it on there?
I was gonna write it here, I was gonna maybe like have this be part of my time or like moving it in my CV.
Okay. Okay, we'll see. Something tells me that we probably wanna think about something a little bit more official, even if it's handwritten. Rather than like notebook, or just for your own sensibility of like, this is a very important thing, right? So just take that note for next time. Okay, what's your A and your B?
He's like the one that got away, / the one I pushed away.
Okay,
And I need him to forgive me and love me again.
okay. Okay, forgive me and love me again. It has feeling and not intellect, which I appreciate, yes? Now I want to, can we roll all of that together? Because love can be a little esoteric in the sense of like, how do you know when you have it? So can we just make a little bit more tangible into the forgive and love me again?
I think forgive maybe can just encompass the love as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so when we want someone to love us, again, what do we want? Acceptance. What else? Security, what else? Comfort. We want to be desired. What else? Validation. Yes. We want a sense of connection, right? So love feels, right, which is what we're looking for, Lindsay. Yes. Now I'm just walking it back into action. So does any of those things sound?
I don't think accept is the right word, but
Okay.
something along that vein.
Okay.
Validate.
Validate. So validate his feelings.
So yeah, I need the one that got away to validate me again. Like as in he once did.
Oh, okay. To validate you. Okay. Okay. Does that it's not grammatically incorrect, but does it serve?
Yes.
Okay. To validate you again.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's see.
Yeah. Or else everything I've ever feared about myself is true.
You don't like that?
Well, I'll say this. You in the opera situation makes sense for me as like the escape of what your life is, right? I'm afraid this part of the C that's connected to your B is a little bit of a pity party, right? Whereas the opera application, you said something very similar to like what happens if you miss the deadline, but it was based in your circumstance rather than the hate for yourself.
So what if that's what's activating though?
How
How do I like switch that?
let's just give it some real world circumstances. If the feeling is real, right? What can we tell ourselves, right? Where that feeling is actually where we actually might have the possibility of feeling it or not based off of our C.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
What about,
Give me your C again.
or else everything I've ever feared about myself is true?
And what do you fear about yourself?
That I'm not worthy of success, of love, of validation.
And why? Why do you feel that?
I just view everyone else as higher than me. I view myself as less than. Whenever someone comes to the door, I'm like, oh, you're up here, I'm down.
What in between can we find to justify that? Because for me, the confines of the home really, like I can justify that feeling just because of how much time I'm spending in this space with these people that I've never really gotten out to even test to see if there is another possibility. For me to feel something different.
Within the world of life.
Within the world of play, and I'm suggesting within your world of the play that it's the walls that are caving in on you, and that right now the fear is because you don't even know like if you could survive outside of this place.
So what about, I need the one that got away to validate me again, or else, like, I'll never make it out. Like something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Because it serves and it
Yeah.
ties in the idea of the validation is proof that I will be able to make it out.
Yes, and for what you're dealing with in this work area, it also can be connected to make it out of this unworthiness mentality that I can't escape from right now. Does that make sense? So I'm not negating everything about what Lindsay offered. I'm just now hooking, right? So that it's playable and not, where we don't get into the habit of pretending from a place of lack of self-worth. Does that make sense? Right? Because we sort of like manifest it, right? And in manifesting it, you're not gonna fight for what you need. Because you don't believe it. You don't believe your words. Does that make sense? That's why it's a sort of like a catch-22, unless we tweak it a little bit. Okay, great, I'm gonna talk to Jake, I'm good.
Hello.
Hello, Jay.
Hello.
What's your B?
My B is to gift their trust.
Oh, for them to give you their
Yeah.
trust. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I thought you said to gift a trust. I was like, wait,
Wait, what?
huh?
Right.
Okay, you need them to give you their trust, or
Yeah.
else what?
Or else I said I'm on the curb. Which-
You're on the curb?
I'm on the curb. It means something to me. It's like a metaphorical thing. Not metaphorical. Like a real thing that happened.
Okay.
Elaborate?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it's based in some real world circumstances.
It is based-
with the timetable, that's all.
So it kind of stems from when I was here over the summer, like no one was here and I didn't know anyone and I felt really alone and like, so I would go out
And just sit on the curb.
and I go out and I just sit on the curb and read.
You should have put a little basket out.
I
I mean, if you're gonna be on the curb.
Right.
I mean, I'm a little ditty. Okay, so so that is an idea of isolation.
Yeah, it's like an idea of isolation. Like Lindsay is the last person. I have that I'm flying into Michigan in 20 minutes.
Okay,
And Lindsay is the last person who I feel like I have a chance of like feeling like I matter here.
yeah, lovely, because it gets tricky when, what's the girl's name, Betty,
Yeah,
comes up.
yeah,
I think you're thinking in the right direction when it comes to, you may be betrothed to someone else, but it's possible that inside of that family, you still feel like it's possible to be engaged to someone that you
Yeah.
feel like you don't matter in
yeah.
their space.
Me and Betty, it's kind of more like, I have crafted that I'm with Betty, but I don't actually love her.
Mhm.
I don't, and I'm just doing it because I'm trying to get over being homosexual.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's interesting.
yeah,
I'm not mad at it. I think also, like, Lindsay then is the only person that you've ever like engaged with that makes you feel seen,
yeah,
right? And accepted for everything.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
yeah,
That's a great way to spend this. Yeah. Also that it circles back to you.
yeah.
Yeah. And in 20 minutes, whatever's happening in 20 minutes, I guess, like if you don't get this from her right now, it still feels a little psychological, of like I'll have to leave without it, but you will leave without it. So I think you have to craft for yourself, like why this encounter, why you need to get this thing, and how it will sustain you after the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I also have another facet of my craft kit
Yeah.
where Tom, since we work together,
Mhm.
we're kind of close, and I also have that me and Tom have been like having an affair. Yeah. So me and Tom talk, not a lot, but like a little bit. We go to the movies together and then go to the alley. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
And so he's been telling me that like Amanda has been really been affecting Lindsay more than usual, where like she'll be in her room for like literally like days at a time.
Mhm.
And like she just seems like she's really like actually like she's always been reclusive, but it seems like she's like going into something dangerous.
Okay, so this is needing her trust.
Yeah, like I want her to trust me, like I want us to have each other.
Okay,
Like I want to leave knowing that I have her and that she has me too.
okay.
And like that can keep us going. Like even if I'm not physically there.
I see. I see. So it's your okay. I think I see it's your connection to. Okay, as a byproduct, okay. Let's see. Let's see if it holds.
Okay.
Let's see if it holds. I reserve the right to tweet after if I feel like there's something missing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's play.
Okay.
It sure does shine. Is the first line.
Yes.
It
Okay.
sure does shine. Sure does shine. I'm scared. Santi, can you give me the countdown for 2 minutes? Thank you.
Hello?
Hi. You look really nice.
Thank you.
You mind if I sit beside you?
Massage?
Yeah. How have you been?
I've been okay.
You been okay?
Yeah,
It's been a really long time since I've seen you.
I know.
Look, I'm sorry about all of that. I'm sorry I left you. I'm sorry.
You didn't,
I felt like I did.
I don't think you left me.
Really?
No.
No?
You think you left me?
I do think I've just been thinking about it so much, how I just stopped talking to you.
You had to do what you had to do, it's okay.
I wish I could tell you why.
Do you want to?
Yes,
Activity.
I want to tell you why, but I'm scared something will happen to me if I do.
Nothing's gonna
I don't believe you.
What's gonna happen?
Pause. Lindsay, what is this voice?
I'm feeling very tiny.
Why? Because you were just talking to me in full voice. Am I imagining that?
No.
Why are you not using your real voice?
I feel like I need to be gentle.
You need to be Lindsay, being Lindsay, doing an activity. That's all that's required. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You don't have to be any extra submissive or tender or delicate. Does that make sense? This is you being a man. Make sense? And I don't want the stand-in. I want you. Does that make sense? And anytime I cast you, I'm gonna cast you for you. Does that make sense? You doing and being you is enough. It's more than enough. Does that make sense? Let's play in behavior.
Do you want me to enter that?
Nope.
Okay.
13.
13 minutes.
sure does shine.
Shouldn't be partial, but he is my favorite one.
What kind of thing is it supposed to be?
Haven't you noticed the single horn on his forehead?
A unicorn, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Unicorns, aren't they extinct in our modern world?
I know.
Pause. Jake, you gotta find something.
No.
Yeah, and anything. I love that you just roll with the text, but you gotta find something.
Yeah.
Right? Like in that case, like you can find anything, right? But you're gonna use it in the same way, right? But it begs for you to introduce something else in the space and you've got things at your disposal. Make sense? Great. Let's pick it up. Behavior. Not working. Find something else to use.
It sure does shine.
I shouldn't be partial, but he is my favorite
On voice, repeat.
one. I shouldn't be partial, but he is my favorite one.
What kind of a thing is this one supposed to be?
Haven't you noticed the single horn?
A unicorn, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Unicorns? Aren't they extinct in our modern world?
I know.
Poor little fellow. He must feel sort of lonesome.
Well, if he doesn't complain about it. He sits on a shelf with some horses that don't have horns, and all of them seem to get along nicely together.
How do you know?
I haven't heard any arguments among them.
No arguments, huh? Well, it's a pretty good sign. Where shall I set him?
Put them on the table. They all deserve a nice change of scenery now and again.
Pause. Lynn, are you giving text because you need to? Or are you giving unearned text?
I think a healthy mix of both.
Well, that's quite clever. But I like to argue that it's either one or the other. In this case, a lot less nuance. Because if you're in the gray, right, then it's not specific either way. Does that make sense? So I think that early on in the delivery of the text, it felt pointed and earned, right? But somewhere in this little section here, it got a little muddled, yeah? So I have some things to offer. Like, I'm interested in the activity because during the first improv, I had to side coach you to it. So I'm just interested in its hook into you. Just think about that. I also think that the activity and Jake at the moment can represent the same thing, right? Which can be in conflict unless you are forced to go back to the activity when you're not getting what you need from Jake, right? So I think right now they're separate. And so Jake in the space is really hard to ignore. Unless you're clear when he's giving you something that you want and or when he's giving you something that you don't want. Does that make sense? And I think right now that's blurry for you, right? What's a win and what's a loss? Make sense? This idea of this unicorn being extinct, is that a win or a loss? Just the text itself.
I don't see how it can be either.
to ask me the question. If I answer it, it's a win, and if I don't, it's a loss.
No, I'm just saying, him bringing up the fact that a unicorn is not real or is extinct, is that a win or a loss?
I think the way he just said it was a loss.
Yeah, and I think it's a real hard sell, no matter how he says it, if this menagerie is you. Does that make sense? And I think that's what this beginning is missing, because you've got to figure out how to craft that these things are you, right? So I'm gonna help. I think what if this is the only representation of the escape as you know it right now?
I crafted it different.
What, how you craft it?
I crafted it as each thing is a representation of a time that someone like validated me, that I was proud of myself, or that someone was proud of me.
Great. So when he handles it, right? Because right now he's just picking it up, do whatever he wants with it, right? But I don't feel that endowment. That's a great endowment, right? Endow, when endow is what I would tell you to do to a prop, or right, to endow it with meaning. That's great, but I don't feel it. I don't feel you feeling it when he grabs it. Does that make sense? So again, I think it's hooked into not knowing what a win or a loss is, because if these are the things that people have given you, has he validated you prior to showing up here?
No.
So why is he touching your things that people have given you that have validated you when he is not doing that? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I'm mixing Jake with the character. Because I trust him, and I'm like, yeah, you can, like,
Yeah, so that means that you've got to, and I also think that your A right now, that you're layering on Jake, is not helping you. Because your A is saying the person that got away or the person I pushed away, which is putting you in as you as the wrongdoer, right? I wonder if it's the person who I thought we shared something with, and then he let me know that we didn't, right? Of course, figuring out like a smaller, more compact way to say that, but does that make sense? Yeah, it's just when he has a little bit more to prove. Because then I think him touching these things would matter more. Yeah? So let's work that into it, because we've got to get, like, when he enters into this space, right? You have got to figure out how to endow this space, and particularly this, with like the most intimate parts of you. Does that make sense? And if he's not handling it with care, it's a loss. If he's not handling you with care, it's a loss. Does that make sense? So we need to definitively decide wins and losses. Yes? For everyone, the next time we work, you need to have a list of wins and losses. Please put it in your binder. So I see if your binder exists. Yes? I need the list of wins and losses. Yes?
Do we assign each one with a winner or loss?
No. Behavior. Yep. Yeah. So you want to word it in your other's behavior. Does that make sense? So what would be winning behavior from them, and what would be losing behavior from them, right? You need that before you start working, okay? I'll get into a little bit more about like what we're going into blocking with on tomorrow. In between time, can you please go back to the RFP guide and take a look at the first phase of the rehearsal process for tomorrow, okay? Thank you, friends. I'm over time, I'm at time, so if we could, if people who can stay to help restore, that's great. Everyone else, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, friends. Thank you. Does that make sense? Oh, also let me say this. I don't want you guys to get in a funk about time spent acting, yes, because the next phase of this is just gonna be me and you in 30 to 35 minutes of just like running the scene, okay? So just know that, okay? All right, good Goodbye. I do, but I'll start with you guys for blocking. You guys be first.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, guys, for blocking, sign up. I would love to work with these two things that I worked with today, and Bo and Kendall, in that first section for blocking. Just because they got a little, their work got a little truncated as we started to move on, yeah. So I just wanted to start with extending that blocking for them, and then we'll start all over again. Or then you can sign up however you want, okay? Yes. Is that the day that is that the day that
As far as I know.
I thought it was working.
okay, because when was that, last class?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's already up. So when you go to the page, if you go in, please, if you